Get ready for the Fente Fan Sale happening March 19th through the 23rd. Enjoy up to a 60% discount on select items and get free gifts on purchases of $75 or more. Today's tag products are the limited edition glass bomb stacks layered lip luminizer. Orlando says, yay, yay, yay. And why not get twisted with the Fenty Gloss Bomb Swirl Lip Luminizer, both for $24. Not only will your lips be luminized, but so will Orlando's. But Not My Rabbit Hole receives a 20% commission for each purchase. Now, how cool is that, Orlando? How cool is that? That's pretty freaking cool. All right, thank God it is Friday the 13th.
Whenever I get a ping, I think about my ding-a-ling-a-ling. I'm a big wiener because I got a big Peter.
My ding-a-ling-a-ling.
I like my ding-a-ling-a-ling. I don't have to be smart. I already got the part. Let me show you my ding-a-ling before I depart. I got the power, I'm the man of the hour. All I have to do is step out of the shower and see my ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, I'm the king. It's good to be the king with my big ding-a-ling.
All right, and so, yeah, welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole. We're going to look into the Friday the 13th folklore a little bit today and also talk about a few other things. So stay tuned right after this song.
You're caught in a lie, and I know why. Tangled truths won't fly, you can't deny. Think Trying to pretend you're just a servant in the end. Caught in a lie, and I know why. You think you'll disappear, but have no fear. You're here to stay, and no one believes you today. Bye-bye, fake girl, trying to play the game. Just another snake, but you're all the same. You're trapped in illusions, no more disguise. Those webs of deceit unravel your lies. Your game is over, no need to hide. Caught in the truth where you'll collide. Trying to escape fate, just another trickster meeting your day. You think you vanish, a fleeting charade, but mirrors shatter, exposing the facade. Reality whispers, the truth prevails. Caught in a lie, the illusion fails. Caught in a lie. And I know why. You think you'll disappear, but have no fear. You're here to stay, and no one believes you today. Bye-bye! Thank God! Break out! Escape code! Just another snake float!
No, well, welcome back. Welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. Now, I don't know what you're doing right now. Like maybe you're out barbecuing tonight. You're like, man, it's Friday the 13th. I got some chicken. I'm going to thaw out that chicken in the freezer and pop it down on that grill and make some corn on the cob and I don't know, green beans and mashed potatoes. And maybe I'm going to have a Modelo, sit out in my backyard and drink some beer with my buddies. Huh? Or maybe you're like, it's a girls' night out and we're having wine spritzers. No, that sounds like a pussy drink. I don't like that idea. Maybe like a really good glass of like Cabernet or a Pinot Noir, grapes, cheese and cracker platter. And we're talking about books. No, that's not good. Okay, Friday the 13th, I think I might watch a horror film tonight. Like, all the Friday the 13th movies that are out there. All the scary movies on a night like this. I forgot it was Friday the 13th. And all of a sudden, it just dawned on me, it's Friday the 13th. And then wouldn't it be wild just to call like, well, thank God it's Friday the 13th. Because I've had a great day today. I hope you guys have too. Because it's kind of just really folklore mythology. Although some people think the veil has actually, dropped or has dropped right now. Or, you might need to like, get up on your spiritual warfare and everything. I thought I'd read a little bit about, so I did a ChatGPT. I know you guys criticize me for that, but let me tell you something. LLM models large language models, they are the future, even though they're sucking up the water out of the earth. And that's something to really be concerned about because,
Get ready for the Fenty Fem Cell.
Oh my God.
19th through the 20th.
That's very, very weird. I just heard my own commercial right now coming back to me. I heard my own voice. That was kind of creepy, But you know what? Maybe just because that happened, I ought to take another opportunity to tell you to get ready for the Fenty Fan Sale happening March 19th through the 23rd. Enjoy up to 60% discount on select items and get gifts on purchases of $75 or more. Today's tag products are the limited edition Glass Bomb Stacks Layered Lip Luminizer. And why not get twisted with the Fenty Glass Bomb Swirl Lip Luminizer, both for $24. Not only will your lips be luminized, but Nut My Rabbit Hole receives a 20% commission for each purchase. How cool is that? So the products are tagged in this video, and of course, you can go through those, you can go look at those ads, make the purchase, or go to the website and find another product that you like, and I'll still earn a commission from that. So I thought maybe I'd just do that ad one more time since it weirdly popped up from my cell phone sitting here by the side of my computer. Okay, so about Friday the 13th, and thank God it is Friday the 13th. There's a lot kind of surrounding it, and I did a ChatGPT search, and I just I don't want to be really anal and go, oh, here are all the sources, blah blah blah. Make what you will out of this. And if you have other information that about Friday the 13th, or, I'm saying something you don't agree with, or you go, hey, you know what, that ChatGPT is definitely biased. Let me know in the comments, or actually in the chat tonight. Speaking, I'm having a kombucha tonight. I thought I realized I did buy one. Do you guys like kombucha? Health Aid kombucha. I'm having pomegranate and blueberry. So I'm sure it's very, very antioxidant. Oxidation is happening right now. So all right, so let me just let me adjust my chat here for a second, because oh, Aiken Drum, I knew you were here. That's why I needed to come here. Hi, Aiken. Does the lady scream? Just another steak lunch. Just another steak lunch. Okay, I scared the cat. I think I might open. Aiken says, I think I might open an Albarino and make a cheese board. And then Aiken says, I swear by the luminizer myself. Yeah, it's very important to get your lips luminized. We must all be luminized. Okay, so let me bring up like a little history on this is the title is History and Cultural Evolution of Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is best understood as a composite superstition. It fuses two older idea clusters, A being suspicion of the number 13 and suspicion of Fridays, into a single, especially charged calendar date. Modern folklore scholarship cautions that pinpointing a single origin is unlikely. Instead, the belief appears to have coalesced through repeated storytelling, selected backfiling of explanations, and popular media reinforcement. The documentary record supports the view that explicit references to Friday the 13th as a special focus of bad luck and relatively late 19th century in Europe not only clearly spread in the US newspapers until the 20th century, even though the evidence for Unlucky Friday motifs exists in modern English literature. And you know what? We should probably add a little bit of background music to this. I feel like this is just being, it feels a little dry. Doesn't it feel a little dry? Okay, yeah, let's do, what should we do here? I'm just trying to figure out what I want. Okay, I think I went low-fi for some reason. Okay, let's go with this. Bring it. Yeah, it's 50%. That I think that'll work, right? All right. So where did I leave off here? A prominent modern origin story that the superstition began with the mass arrest of the Knights Templar on Friday, October 13th, 1307, has strong cultural traction but weak evidentiary support as an origin. Reputable historical reporting treats the 1307 event as real, but the claimed causal link as historically unpervasive and largely popularized much later, notably by modern fiction. Across cultures, the date is not universal. Some countries emphasize other unlucky combinations, e.g. Tuesday the 13th, and in some religious traditions, Friday and 13 can be positive rather than ominous. Notably, Friday in Islam and the number 13 in several Jewish theological and liturgical frameworks. Empirical studies of Friday the 13th risk repeatedly find that measured harms do not reliably arise on the day. When anomalies appear, they are often small, subgroup specific, or plausibly explained by behavioral changes, avoidance, altered travel patterns, reporting artifacts. The strongest conviction supported by the modern evidence base is that the belief in the day changes behavior more reliably than the day changes objective risk. Oh, okay, so that's kind of interesting. So it's saying that a lot of people are maybe do different things on Friday the 13th because we have a superstition that it does mean something. Like, how many of you guys kind of took it easy today? Were you afraid of getting into an accident? Did you look at Thomas Schoenberger's timeline and see that he made a post that looks like a witchcraft spell? Like, oh god, what the hell is that? Don't look at it, don't focus on it. I don't know, something to do with like a cloth's foot on a bathtub and some 1930s place that he lived at on Dulongre in that street in Los Angeles. I remember the Dulongre part because I know exactly where that street is. I don't know if it's like the address was in Los Angeles, and that could be pretty close to Hollywood Boulevard, probably pretty close, not too far from the metro rail. But anyways, I digress. But yeah, a lot of creepy things happen. I guess I should look it up, but I'm assuming that, is this a satanic holiday? I'm not really sure. That I did not put in the ChatGPT search, but hey, I'm not opposed to doing that if you guys want me to. I'm really just kind of messing around tonight. I figured, why not do something, spin it different? Like, thank God it's Friday the 13th. Thank God. I don't know. Sometimes I have a really great day on Friday the 13th, and make what you will from that. Okay, so method and source approach. Let me continue here. This report prioritizes primary text, digital books, scriptural passages, institutional scholarship, and curation, notably by the Library of Congress, peer-reviewed empirical studies, indexed through PubMed PMC, and the reputable journalism Reuters National Geographic. 2 structured artifacts are provided as requested: a timeline of key attestations and regional comparison table, where the historical record is uncertain of where commonly repeated claims are not well supported. This is explicitly flagged in the final section. Okay, so I kind of want to share this with you as a screen share. I don't know. Here, let me do a screen share here. Okay, on something different. So you can see here there are these different categories. I'm gonna go through them really briefly, and then probably take a break on this because I don't want to like go, okay, enough about the Friday the 13th. But I did pull up the Templar stuff a little bit more in detail. I'm curious about the Knights Templar story, being that well, that's I know you're gonna hate me for saying this. I know some of you guys want to be part of the Knights Templars, but that is the lineage of my family, and so I'm kind of interested in Friday the 13th, what happened around that, and learning more about the Knights Templars. And yeah, I know I didn't talk about being related to the Knights Templars because really I didn't really know I was until maybe what was that, like 6 years ago. Okay, so don't criticize me for that, but I don't know why I didn't find out until then. Maybe my family went, boy, she's talking about us, and you better tell her something. And so anyway, that's neither here nor there, and I'm rambling. All right, so here's the timeline. Well, I almost felt like I wanted to give myself a gong for rambling and, TMI. Oh, yeah. So, but you know what? I think I am kind of, interesting in the facts is that, I do have heritage to the Knights Templars, and I'm also a Mexican. So that's I think that's pretty interesting and rather unique and awesome. Oh! Okay, but maybe it made me an outcast. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I'm sure I'm useful now. Okay, anyway. I know, like, let me just keep going here. All right. So in the late 14th century, in the Canterbury Tales, Geoffrey Chaucer has a famous line, "And on Friday fell all this mischance, and the nuns priests tell." This demonstrates a medieval English literary linkage of Friday mischance without the number 13. Okay. In 1834, a French stage text frequently cited in the folklore discussions, and it's a big French word that I'm not going to say, includes a character attributing lifelong misfortune to being born on Friday the 13th, December 13th, 1813. One of the earliest widely cited explicit calendar date links joining Friday the 13th in a single statement. 1869 publication referencing 1868. The Life of Rossini by Henry Sutherland Edwards remarks that Gioacchino Rossini regarded Fridays and 13 as unlucky and died on Friday the 13th, November 1868. Early English language documentation combining Friday and 13 as unlucky and treating that combination as notable. In January 13th, 1882, an event, the 13 Club, holds an inaugural dinner for 13 on Friday the 13th in Manhattan. Shows the belief was socially salient enough to inspire organized defiance and publicity. In 1907, Friday the 13th by Thomas W. Lawson depicts market and manipulation leveraging the average known Hoodoo Day belief. Often credited with accelerating dissemination, importantly, the novel depicts superstition as pre-existing tradition. In 1980, Friday the 13th becomes a durable pop culture anchor for the date's ominous aura. Mass media transforms a superstition into a recurring seasonal cultural event. In 2002, Finnish nationwide analysis examines traffic deaths on Friday the 13th versus other Fridays, 1971 to 1997, reporting a sex-differentiated signal in fatalities. Illustrates how efforts can appear in some outcomes subgroups, but remain contested and sensitive to design choices. A 2000, I don't know, I have no idea what that other paragraph means, but whatever. And it's AI. In 2004 study, Finnish injury accident study reexamines the claim and finds no increase in women's injury road accidents on Friday the 13th from 1989 to 2002. It's kind of like a macabre thing to really research, right? Demonstrates the importance of replication and outcome choice, fatal versus injury accidents. In a 2008 report, Dutch analysis reported by the Reuters, not by the Reuters, find Friday the 13th not more accident prone, and some claims fewer accidents, possibly due to avoidance. So people, if only we could be as careful as we are on Friday the 13th as we are on other days of the week. Could you imagine? Highlights behavioral adaptation. Superstition may change exposure rather than changing inherent risk. And then there's a 2011 and 2012 study, Surgical and Emergency Services papers test Friday the 13th as a risk factor and generally chronicle myth rather than measurable clinical effect. Evidence-based expands beyond traffic into healthcare utilization and outcomes. All right. All right, so hi, Angela G. Aiken, I remove. Oh, okay. I don't know. There was a comment that Angela said for Aiken to remove. Oh, cool. You said, hi, Terry. Here listening while working on something. Oh, very cool. What do you mean? You might want to share what you're working on me. Are you making something? Are you creating something while you're listening to my podcast? I love when people create things while they're listening to my. While we're listening to each other. I do things when I listen to you and other people. All right, so maybe I should take this, let that go there for a second. There are a few things that I want to show you, and I will be right back with that after this other song that I uploaded on Sumo. I picked two of the When I Get a Ping. What is the name of it again? When I Get a Ping, I think about my ding-a-ling. Okay, here we go. No. That is not what I want. Here.
Whenever I get a ping, I think about my ding-a-ling-a-ling. I'm a big wiener because I got a big Peter. My ding-a-ling-a-ling. I like my ding-a-ling-a-ling. I don't have to be smart, I already got the part. Let me show you my ding-a-ling.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you weren't hearing that song. I'm sorry. Let me fix that. Okay, now I have a dead space.
I get a ping.
Okay, let me
I think about my ding-a-ling-a-ling.
but you might have
I'm a
seen
big wiener because I got a big Peter.
okay, you might have seen that I pulled up something about Owen Benjamin, and what I'm gonna show here in just a second is a male comedian talking about what I hate to say it, but what sounds kind of like a come on, or maybe considering like inappropriate sexual discussion with him. Let's just put it that way. I don't know. Yeah. So almost like sexual harassment. And we'll be right back with that.
Whenever I get a ping, I think about my ding-a-ling-a-ling. I'm a big wiener because I got a big Peter. My ding-a-ling-a-ling. I like my ding-a-ling-a-ling. I don't have to be smart, I already got the part. Let me show you my ding-a-ling-a-ling before I depart. I got the power, I'm the man of the hour. All I have to do is step out of the shower and see my ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, I'm the king. It's good to be the king with my big ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. Whenever
Okay, so that was like when I get a ping, I look at my ding-a-ling. All right, so I want to share a video, and no, not that video. And it's titled Owen Benjamin Victim Comes Forward. And I'm going to just go ahead and play it.
He's like, what? Someone banned that guy.
I mean,
But, you know, if somehow this gets back to you, you fucking did, Owen Benjamin, you piece of shit loser. Now I can talk about this without getting all heated, because, like, this week has actually been very nice. Made me feel a lot better about it. But anyway, like 3 years ago in Philadelphia, Owen Benjamin, he was at Helium Comedy Club. And sometimes when a headliner's there after their show, they'll come to one of the littler venues to like drop in and do a set. And that night I was at Good Comedy Theater, and I was hosting a show, and blacked out Owen Benjamin shows up. He's very rude. I bring him up. He does his set. I come out to close the show, but he picked me up in his, like, he picked me up, pulled me close to his face with his tongue out.
oh, here we go.
And was like trying to make out with me. And like not in a way where it was like clearly a bit, in a way
Right.
where it's like, I'm trying to do this and I bet I can play it off as a bit.
Right, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about him screams that, dude.
Yeah, it made me very upset at the time, and really until this week, it really, really upset me every time I thought about it.
Mhm.
So he's trying to make out with me, and I like freeze and like try to like recoil away, and then he like drops me and like looks really mad, like I'm not yes-anding the bit.
What the fuck, dude?
And so then I close the show. It's really fucking awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like pissed off. And yeah, I just fucking pissed off, made me feel terrible.
Yeah.
And just like furious, where it was like it was sexual assault. Obviously that's a super extreme example.
Right.
But like when you're an open micer like trying to come up, headliners treat you like you're less than human. Especially unfunny headliners,
Right?
Because they know that
Yes.
they're not that much better than you.
Dude, it was kind of an amount in many ways. It's like,
So, what do you guys? I know, and there's a couple of you guys active in the chat right now. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that? I mean, do you think this is real? Usually when somebody comes out with an allegation, especially if it's a woman, and people are like, "Oh yeah, she's just making it up," or it's not real, or it just gets kind of ignored. It's unusual for a man to talk about another man being sexually harassed from another male comedian. I mean, usually, harassment's the other way around. It happens to the women. I've been sexually harassed as a woman comic, and I just, honestly, at the time, I just shut my mouth and stifled it because I knew that if I said anything, in the long run, I was not going to win. I was going to be seen as, trouble, or not being able to take a joke or whatever. It would not have go in my favor. But I have to say, the guy who did do it to me was had a mullet and was wearing a bolo tie. So when I realized that about him, I'm like, no wonder he's wearing, he's got a mullet. So of course he would sexually harass me. But he said something to me that really stuck in my head. He said, and this was like in 1990. I remember specifically, I was in 1990. I was in Kansas City, Missouri. We were working the Stanford's Comedy Club at that time. And he said to me, society's not ready for women comics. Because like when we're at a party, the guy's telling the jokes and the woman just gets him a beer. And I thought, and then at that point, I realized this is what I've been dealing with all this entire week. It's this mentality. It's that mentality where you have some bozo, with a mullet and a, bolo tie harassing you. And I just got through it. I know that, as a woman, and I'll say this, and this is one of the reasons why I like talking about Owen. Oh shit. Oh wait, I'm on. I because at one point I coughed and I muted myself and I go, oh my God, I couldn't have just said all of that. And then you guys didn't hear anything that I had to say. But at that time, it was more common for me to be treated a certain way as a stand-up comedian. It's happened to me a few times. But for the most part, not. But it's unusual for a male comic to talk about another male comic sexually harassing them. And being that Owen, I showed previously in my videos, and I talked, about how Owen is really super anti-gay, and I'm going to go back and show some of that material. I'm going to show some of that material again in just juxtaposition of what's happening here. And I'm going to take a break from that. I'm going to show you also a recent post of Owen Benjamin's on X that also falls in line to this conversation. And this is a recent clip from one of his recent Rumble videos. Darn it! Now I just Gotta go back here. Okay, yeah, it's right here. Let me click on this.
I say that to British people now. I'm like, oh, you speak American? I think we should say England speaks American. I say that to British people now. I'm like, oh, you speak American quite well. They're like, hello. I'm like, oh, you speak American well, but you have a gay, fruity little accent. They're like, oh, it's English. It's English. I'm like, it's American. Okay. You're a little island of queers. I think we should say England speaks American.
Oh, just take that into account for a second, right? So, and this is recent. This is recent. So now the next thing I want to do is pull up a little bit of like one of my recent streams and just go over some content here with it. Because, well, okay, let me just play it.
Section 9, the daddy issue.
But I think it's a lot of projection. You know, his father's homosexual. I think he's a homosexual. I think he jerked.
Owen was the one trying to prove his father was a homosexual when he was betraying his mother. We found him doing some real sneaky, fruity stuff, but there's way, 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 way more evidence that I'm actually a homosexual than Owen's father. That's kind of hilarious. But Owen's so homophobic that he was trying really hard to find evidence. A lot of circumstantial shit, though, and betrayal.
The father and son loop. Owen's relationship cycle never changes. Admire, align, resent, attack. He's done it with mentors and now with younger rivals.
Okay, so let me also point this out about his dynamic with his fathers. Here's one thing I want to say. One of the first books that was written, I'm going to skip a little bit ahead of this and get to his relationship with his father. All right, because this is when you look at this part, what might happen with that stand-up comedian and what he might just have said on his X profile might make more sense to you.
The son who replaced him, John Kerry Smith, a longtime professor at SUNY Plattsburgh. He taught rhetoric as the art of persuasion, not just to students, but even to government agencies.
Rhetorical vision and the inaugurals, like in all of them, need credibility, believability, and legitimacy. For Reagan, legitimacy and credibility are drawn from the experience of the American people. That is, the sanctioning agents are these series of cultural myths that assert our worthiness as a people of this blessed land, who only need revive our faith in ourselves and courage in facing our destiny, that we believe that together with God's help, we can always do the great deed. Quote, I believe we the Americans of today, he said.
By all accounts, he was a flamboyant operatic personality, beloved by his colleagues and by the small-town arts community that surrounded him.
If you'd ask many students at New York's SUNY Oswego who their favorite professors were, John Kerr Smith's name would be heard very often. Born in Oak Park, Illinois in June of 1942, John Kerr Smith has been a professor in the Communication Studies Department at New York's College at Oswego since 1974. As a graduate of Northwestern, Smith enjoyed acting in various operas.
Opera was something I was very interested in, both as an undergraduate at Northwestern. I did the WAMU show, which was the student variety show that the students wrote, edited, performed, and so on.
In his early comedy days, Owen actually celebrated his father's eccentric feminine energy. He'd mimic his dad's operatic flair on stage, the hand gestures, the singing, the theatrical confidence, turning it all into lighthearted stand-up material.
My dad's funny. He's a public speech professor, rhetoric, sings opera, a lot of colorful bathrobes. He's a very fruity man. Like I didn't understand it when I was young. You know, he'd go into like Walmart or something and just be like, out of nowhere, just, I'm a little teapot, short and stout, Here is my handle. Here's the other handle. Oh my God, I'm a sugar bowl.
There was a time when Owen celebrated his dad's humor, gentle, wordy, and full of puns. In fact, he even uploaded a wholesome little video called Jokes with My Dad, where the two of them traded one-liners and laughed together like old friends. But that version of Owen doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I had lunch the other day with a friend of mine in the chemistry department, and I said, what happens to chemistry professors when they die? And he said, they bury them.
No, that didn't come off.
No, that was a good one.
You think?
Yeah.
Without espresso, I get depresso. And I'd like to open up a bakery that featured gender roles.
No.
Dad, what do you think you might do if you ever retire?
Well, I thought of maybe opening up a bakery. And remember, Old World Bakery was really one of the better ones. But I think the best way to do it in Oswego these days would be to make sure you featured gender roles in your bakery.
What's the most important thing you do in the morning?
Well, I have my espresso, but you know, if I don't have my espresso, I get very depresso. Nike's expression is just do it. But if Nike gets depressed, they say, don't it.
Okay, I'm going to stop here for a second. Aiken said something. It's actually a very common thing. Problems with fathers is used by Estlin EST style breakthrough groups, landmark forum these days, breakdown person, blame, dad, rebuild person, group identity. It's so common. It's a useful tool for cults to exploit. Interesting. You said, I told my daughter that I had a serious problem with myself, worked through it for us both. That's great. That's great.
What do you think, Oliver?
Years later, he would stream about the same man, not with affection, but with venom. He dissected those same puns he once adored, sneering at them as proof that his father was gay, weak, and embarrassing.
Okay, now that you know a little backstory about who we're dealing, bear in mind, this is the guy that took all
right, so let's go back to the comedian talking about what happened between him and Owen at this comedy club. Let's come back to this one again. It's at the Ice House here, and I'm very familiar with that club. That was my home club. I was also like a house MC here at the Ice House. Great club. So this is the voice of Brendan Crick, Owen, and it's titled Owen Benjamin Sex Assault Survivor. Okay.
An amalgam of all of like your subconscious fears, right? Because there's the comedy aspect. It's a guy who's bigger than you, like having his
just
way with you.
Picking me up and doing whatever he wants with me because I'm small and weak. But yeah, it really fucking pissed me off. And like even afterwards, I would like tell people about it, and I'd kind of like laugh. I'd be like, "Man, wasn't that crazy?" But then like when I would really think about it, I'd be like, "Fuck!" Like,
yeah, it's psycho shit, dude.
Yeah, it's psycho shit, and it stuck in there. Yeah, it
sucks. It's not fun. It's not easy to talk about.
It certainly isn't.
Right.
To me, back then, it was just like, man, this guy's a fucking dickhead. I didn't consider the fact that it was like a genuine expression of like being horny, but that made me feel grimier, where it was like, oh, it wasn't just him being a dick and like touching my body without my permission and making me feel like scared and small.
Mm-hmm.
It was him like genuinely sexually assaulting me. I don't know. I feel like it was also insane because this is on a show, so it's in front of an audience,
right?
So it's like it's one of those situations where like he's doing something so brazenly abusive that people almost can't believe it, even though they're seeing it. But anyway, so my buddy Ben, he's posting he posted a thing where he's like, Owen Benjamin paid for my Uber, and I saw that and it just made my stomach hurt. And I started thinking about it all again, and you know, Ben didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying that, but it just fucking sucks seeing that. And so I tweeted back, and I don't normally post anything that isn't like a straight up joke or anything like, you know, emotional or whatever. It's pretty much straight bits for me, but I tweeted like, oh man, he paid for your Uber that night. All I got was him picking me up without my permission and trying to put his tongue in my mouth.
Oh fuck! And then somebody saw it and brought it up like in his on his stream.
Yeah,
right?
on his stream.
Yeah.
Someone's like, why did you sexually assault Brendan Crick? And he's like, what? Someone banned that guy. If some of this gets back to you, you fucking did, Owen Benjamin, you piece of shit loser.
Yeah.
And I pray for you that you meet you know, come to terms with your truth and
all that good stuff.
You just be gay. There's like supercuts of him like describing, like making gay jokes, but like getting way too specific and like describing like male genitals way too much, like almost wistfully.
What a fucking loser.
God damn. Yeah. What a fucking loser. Like how, because he was like I don't know what people's like I don't know what his reputation was with like working comics or anything, but he had like a solid career. And then he tanked it by like saying the N-word on Twitter or whatever, and like doubling down, and then going on Rogan and like completely shitting the bed, trying to walk it back.
Well,
he's a retard.
He's a complete
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there and then go back to some of the footage that I played earlier this week, because I think it's, when you look at it in juxtaposition to another comedian's story who's a guy about this experience with Owen Benjamin, and then he's like the bully, like the way Owen Benjamin, and I pointed this out on my other streams, is that the way he talks about gay people and his attacks on certain individuals, his judgment is like the bully, is like the jock that has the really secretly wants to kiss a guy. Okay, let me just put it that way. It can be interpreted that way. That is the stereotype. I'm not saying that's the case with him, but I did make that kind of association. It's the person who is not comfortable with their sexuality that goes out and attacks the other person and demonizes the other person or puts it upon other people. So let's continue.
Of my mom's retirement, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and gave it to gay scammy guys on the internet. And when confronted, he was like, why are you yelling at me? Okay, so now listen to the fucking pun, and you tell me why I don't like puns.
It was a complete inversion. Love turned to contempt, nostalgia into bitterness. Watching the two clips side by side feels less like a comedy retrospective and more like a psychological autopsy.
Even the dog's like, this got to go. And let me tell you something. He was.
I don't know why, but I like sometimes I feel compassion for him. I feel compassionate for him at times because, and I know there's things that he's doing. Okay, and I go through that until I watch the soccer mom video. But so I'm going to skip through let's skip through Terry's compassion for right now. And not to say that I wasn't genuine in that moment, but you know, I've learned what a manipulator Owen Benjamin is, and so that's unfortunate. I'll show you that video here in a minute when we take a break. But let's go around right here. Probably somehow liked it, wanted it. They consented. Like there's something that happened in his family dynamics.
Horror show. My wife Amy was one of the only people to call him. My brother's wife did a great job with him too. But when it first happened, my wife Amy made sure she found the hospital, made sure we called, let him know we cared. And he was like, that means.
I mean, this is a dynamic, like, as a comedian, when I watch Owen Benjamin, I'm in awe. I like him. I think he's funny. I think he's good at what he does. He plays music. He's freaking amazing. But this is the other side of what comedians can be. Because we're all kind of a little fucked up. How do you think we got funny?
So much to, okay.
I mean, I don't mean to be stereotypical, but you don't make, sometimes making a joke is a way of dealing with something. You don't make jokes about everything's great. You're making jokes at the shit. You're making the shit laugh so we can deal with it.
We cared. We were actually trying to find out where he was, trying to help him any way we could. We were going to send him flowers. As soon as he got better, I don't even think he knows my wife's name. He never called and said thanks. He doesn't give a shit. She did it because she's a good person.
Like, part of me wants to give him a hug. Seriously. I'm not saying it excuses him for what he's done or does, but he's hurting really deep down. He's not okay.
Because it's the right thing to do. He doesn't know the names of my kids. Why would he? Why would he? It's his ride. Like, my mom is in her 80s. One second. And she's not aging mentally at all. I told her today, it's like I'm talking to a 40-year-old. She is aging physically, like she needs a lot more naps.
I think some of them could have been phrased differently.
Because I think that's why you guys are such a good combo, because he's the rhetoric guy, but you're the English professor. So he throws the charm out, but you want to tweak it and boil it down a little. So what jokes do you think needed a little tweaking?
Oh, gosh.
It was the gender roles one. You thought he phrased it bad.
Oh, I did. That it needs to, gender roles has to be set apart as the title of the store.
Dad, you hearing the notes?
Yeah.
So we've come up with the gender rolls has to be the title of the bakery, not the name of the actual rolls.
Oh. Okay.
And the Nike slogan needs a flow.
Oh.
So it's just do it. Depressed brother, just don't it.
Okay.
You guys want to try again?
No, I'm tired. I couldn't be in entertainment because after a while I have to go to bed and people still want to have more takes.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at takes either.
You did a good job.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
You always bring the heat. You bring the heat, Pops. Because underneath those feet, there's a really nice pedicure.
Yeah.
My dad, when my mom had surgery on her bladder or something a few years ago, my dad wouldn't drive her home from the hospital because he was afraid it was going to snow. And it's been like that my whole life. I mean, just the cowardice. And I'm not mad. I promise I hold no grudges towards my dad. I'm very grateful that he had me and he provided a roof over our heads and he taught me a lot of great stuff. But I mean, the mental, the shit is just nuts.
But somewhere along the line, the affection curdled. As Owen's worldview hardened, so did his attitude toward the very traits he once admired. The man who once laughed with.
Yeah, a lot of my takedowns of liars definitely has to do with my father because I hate them. So that explains that. So if you might be thinking, why do you fucking go after liars so hard? Fox even asked me that in Spain. He was like, man, you really go after it. It's like,
it's funny because I'm the same way. I mean, I can identify with him on this. Like, I go after liars. Why do comics do that?
yes, I have unresolved issues with my dad, who's a lying homosexual. So I just want to take down other lying homosexuals now. And since I understand that, it doesn't control me. But that's clearly a motivator.
Okay, I don't have the same reason. I just want to point that out. I don't really have the same reason as him though.
As Owen drifted further into the hard-right echo chamber, chasing validation from his new conservative audience, his tone changed.
Yeah, if success is just allowing someone to.
I mean, I honestly, I don't care if my dad's a homosexual. I don't. I've accepted that. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there for a second, and then I'm going to go back. Let's go back to the other, the comedian that is saying that feels like he's been sexually assaulted or harassed by Owen Benjamin. Let's go back to here.
He had a middle of the road comedy career, got in a couple movies,
almost
made a nice life for
have you ever
himself.
seen his act? It's terrible.
It's horrible.
He's a fucking piano hack,
and the piano songs are sincere. He plays just plays actual covers at the end. It's dude, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Fucking kill yourself.
In 2014 or 15 or whatever. He was bragging. He was acting like he was this big time star. One, I didn't know who he was until I got a text hey, do you want to open for this guy, Owen Benjamin? We booked him and forgot. And so he's down in the Lizard Lounge. And the Lizard Lounge was the basement of this rock club, which is where we would do open mics and stuff. Because it was the little out of the way bar that no one thinks about.
Right.
And then up above it is a full rock club. And they forgot he booked him. And they booked a concert in the club.
Oh my fucking God, that's awesome.
Yeah, so there's fucking metalcore or whatever, bleeding through the walls while he's playing music. But anyway, he's playing in the basement of a club, being drowned out by fucking synth guitar.
That's so sick.
And he's still big timing us. It's look at the crowd. There's 7 people.
Yeah.
And I brought 3 of them.
Owen,
you loser.
It's over. This is the end. Look around you. But yeah, that fucking sucks.
I'm trying to be Christ-like, turn the other cheek. So Owen, if you're listening to this, I just want to let you know that I'm praying for you, buddy. I hope that you come to terms with who you are and live an honest life, and you find joy in that way. And I also hope that the state takes your children away,
which is only right for them.
Yeah,
I mean that's literally what Jesus would do.
Okay, so get off of there. That sometimes I listen to that sound there, that music. It's very soothing. I'm gonna go back to my own video because there's a little bit more I think that you should see here. I don't really have a problem with that.
Penetrate you anally. Oh, he must be obsessed. It's him obsessed with anal sex, not Joe Rogan. No, it's Joe Rogan.
And by the way, yeah, my dad is bi.
I make fun of it because it's so fucking disgusting and no one else has the balls to make fun of it. I'm me mocking it has literally kept people from being because they never hear anyone mock it. All it is oh, it's so good. Don't judge. Tolerance. Oh. No, I'm that's gross. When people are enough talk with that, I'm let me guess. You're constantly complaining about the LGBT agenda, right? Okay. Well, that doesn't work at all. You want to know what does work?
And what's interesting is when I watched the footage of Bertaria, he almost treats one of the guys like that. He picks on him. He talks about him being shorter and him wearing his short pants and this and that. And so, Owen, I mean, to me, when I watch this part of Owen, I feel like he is this is the bully. This is the bully in class. This is the guy who bullied the people that were gay. And you take that a few notches farther, and this kind of mentality is the reason why the guy killed the gay guy or beat them up to death. It could go there, and that's the scary part. That's why you have to you gotta get that in check.
Talking about depends. People I get it. My wife's the same way. She no more depends talk. I get it. But it's okay, then no more complaining about the LGBT agenda. I just know how to get it done. You combat that rhetoric with disgust.
What had once been awkward comedy about family turned into full-blown resentment. He became increasingly homophobic, using his father as a symbolic punching bag to prove his new values. In one particularly cruel broadcast titled Sins of the Father, he publicly humiliated the man who had once cheered for him from the front row. On that stream, Owen accused his father of being a homosexual narcissist who had, in his words, extorted his mother's retirement money to fund relationships with other men, even claiming that his dad slept with his own godfather. What he called revelation looked more like revenge, a son rewriting his family history to fit the ideology he thought would finally make him a man.
So yeah, for people that want to keep shaming me about my dad, like Alex Jones, oh, Owen has daddy issues. Yeah, I do, Alex. I do. But I've dealt with it as best as I can. My dad was a suicidal, homosexual narcissist that stole my mother's retirement. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have some daddy issues. My dad was terrible. As bad as I can imagine. And I mean that. Everyone he touched basically got soul cancer. I clawed my fucking way out of it with the help of God, love, will, comedy, community, you people being here. Just everybody being like, oh, Owen's lost his mind, and just having one fucking bear be like, he's a good man. 1 in 100 can help me. You people were part of this. My dad fucked my godfather. My dad gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to male prostitutes. My dad threatened to kill himself my whole childhood. We survived. Not only are we surviving, we're fucking thriving. Mock the devil. My son will never have to go through that.
He kind of reminds me of David Schroeder, doesn't he? I mean, doesn't he kind of remind, like, it is a similar story. Sorry, I made a baked potato. I started it before I did the show, and I was eating a little bit of it. So I don't know if you heard a few tinks. It's delicious because I rubbed olive oil on the potato, and then I put Larry Singer's seasoning salt around it, and then I poked holes in the potato, and then I put it in the oven for 45 minutes. Oh, almost a little bit too long. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to set my timer, and I'm streaming right now. It's almost an hour. I better check on my potatoes. So I stepped out for a minute, and I caught it just in time, and it was absolutely delicious. Just delicious. So, I did it again. All right, so I'm going to take a music break. I'm going to talk about the Knights Templars on the Friday the 13th. Maybe show a few more Owen videos and be done. And going to watch myself some scary movies tonight because it's Friday the 13th. Thank God it's Friday the 13th. Oh my God, let's give that a round of applause. Okay, and we'll be right back with more. We're Not My Rabbit Hole. And it'll be here. I'm going to start it here in just a second. I'm trying to pick out what song I want to do. What should we do? Let's do Med Beds. Why not?
Deal. In a world of pain, a whisper starts to bloom of a secret chamber chasing away all gloom. They call them med beds, a futuristic dream. Med beds. Med beds. A promise so grand, but no real photos, just one giant hologram. They say they're coming, $1 billion plan. These say Tesla built them in a lab far away, or aliens brought them for a brighter new day. Hidden in tunnels by the deep state's own hand, hoarded by the wealthy across the whole land. QAnon voices on Telegram, they shout, Trump will release them, no reason to doubt. A benevolent military will roll out the plan, free for all citizens, every woman and man. Oh, med beds,
a promise so grand, but no real photos, just sand in your hand. The jumble of buzzwords, a child Star Trek fleet, quantum frequencies for all to be free. But if it sounds too good, it's a dangerous art, a mirage for the desperate, breaking every heart.
They talk of bad frequencies and good to restore, a science that simply makes no sense anymore. The FDA warns us of devices unproven, hucksters and scams, their true motives are woven, charging small fees for a bed that's not there, leaving folks empty, lost in despair. When real help is needed, they turn you away for a fictional cure that will never see day. Oh, med beds,
a promise so grand, but no real photos, just sand in your hand. The jumble of buzzwords, a child Star Trek fleet, quantum frequencies for all to be free. But if it sounds too good, it's a dangerous art, a mirage for the desperate, breaking every heart.
So look for the evidence, the truth in the light. Don't fall for the fantasy in the dark of the night. For true healing comes from science and care, not from a med bed floating in thin air. Med beds! 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 Med beds!
All right, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. And I just want to throw out there that I am a believer in other modalities of healing, including prayer. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So that's something I wanted to do there. Okay, so I want to, Owen Benjamin he streamed a couple of times on his Rumble channel, and you're gonna see where he calls people out bears. So he's still thriving. What I would consult many people consider to be a cult, calling people bears. But I'm gonna share one of his most recent streams, and you can tell he's wearing the outfit that I did that I showed the one clip on X of. So let's watch a little bit. Okay, what do you think?
Bears, I need this stream so much right now. I'm on one. What's wrong? Oh, today's going to be a good one. We'll get your spirits up. We're going to go revisit Pol Pot. The Carlson brothers apparently get it. So we'll get into that. Wobbly and like Bud Bear came up with this image, and Wobbly appears to have perfected it. So we're going to talk about that. I think the book may be out as early as Friday. So that is extremely exciting. I have an amazing pun for Coddington. Don't put it in the title. We're going to talk a little bit about feminism and what it actually is. I saw a really, really funny sketch.
I didn't get to the feminism part. I haven't watched this whole thing. I watched just the beginning, but I just want to show you a little bit of what he's still doing and talking about. By the way, this is Women's History Month, and for Women's History Month, Owen Benjamin is a topic. Now, this is the theme of it is thank God it's Friday the 13th, but I probably will be using some of this footage in other podcasts. By the way, I just uploaded my first video about Owen Benjamin on Spotify, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. All right, let's play it.
We'll see how cows have done compared to the S&P and updates at Ursa Rio and who I think is in charge of the sleeper cells, or who can find the sleeper cells in America. I mean, it's the Gog of War. Content put that one in the title. No, I love your puns in the titles. Honestly, I do. Just not one that's like 3 seconds of the stream. It has to be more like you can put the Gog of War instead of the fog. Because I got sleep last night, but not as much as I should have, because I started looking into all these videos are all over Twitter of everybody getting bombed and the radio, the radar detectors all over the Middle East are destroyed and all this stuff. And I was like, what is going on? Then I realized it's really hard to tell what's real and what's not on the internet. And we all know that. But I like to still look at the narratives, because narratives affect people whether you like it or not. And behind the scenes, you know, the narrative that's presented.
You know what's real, Owen? I'm wondering about, Brendan Crick. Is that his name? Brendan Crick. The comedian that says you hit on him or sexually assault him. Is that real on the internet? I mean, do you have a response about that, Owen Benjamin? Is that real, or is that just somebody attacking you? What's going on here?
Is always kind of it's like kind of true, you know. But
is it kind of true?
There's always aspects of it we don't see, like the glyphosate thing with Trump. Actually, I totally see why they did that, and it's not even a bad move. And that does not mean I'm pro glyphosate. In fact, I grow my own food, and I will spend way more to get anything without glyphosate in it because I think it's really bad for you. But if you really look into what was going on with that bill, it was about American production and like there's a serious lack of food production in America. And with the amount of dependent people that need food every day, glyphosate is actually miraculous type situation.
Statement? I mean, wait, he just says it, but he doesn't give any sources or statistics. It's just his opinion, really. I need a little more here. Need a little more.
And so I'm trying to figure out this war stuff.
Well, wait, you have an IQ of 147. I guess maybe you don't think you have to give any examples for anything, right?
Because the optics are so.
Is that it?
So bad. You know, they blew up a school, and Trump said it was a Tomahawk missile, but it was definitely from China. And this guy's like, you're trying to tell us that one day into a war, Iran blew up their own school with like an American missile? And Trump's like, we just got started, but it's already over. And so I'm trying to figure all this.
That's a good Trump impression. I have to give it to him for that.
Out. And I can't remember the point I was making. Shit.
What is your point? Because you know what? That's a real big tragedy. That the bombing of the school, that's a big tragedy. Where's the empathy? I thought you were like this big intuitive empath. Because later on in the video, or maybe it was like yesterday's video, because he did 2 videos back to back, and it kind of bleeped into him a couple times. And he was going on about how his pineal gland is so huge and wonderful and clear. And, you know, how he saw auras as a child. And, you know, he's apparently this big empath, but I don't see it. I don't know about you guys, but I just don't feel it. I think Bill Clinton was, you know, showing more empathy post the Epstein deposition with his tears and everything. We're probably going to end on that a little bit tonight, that commentary. Yeah, you know, he showed more empathy after the deposition. I don't know about your guys' feelings about that, but I can't get over. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Like, I just really can't get over the blue dress thing. And I don't really think it helps that Epstein had a painting of Bill Clinton in the blue dress either, because it means that they kind of think it's funny. Whoever the artist is to me, it says, you know, Bill Clinton in the blue dress. Like, he's guilty. He's wearing, it says a lot of stuff that, I don't know. What do you think about that, Owen Benjamin? What do you think?
Hang on. What was it? I was trying to figure out the GOG of War. Lost it. Hello, everybody. What is going down? All right. Well, I still believe this. I don't know. I don't have enough information. You know, Yogi and those guys are saying that live in Israel are saying it's wildly overblown, you know, that not much is happening, just like all the time. Hello,
I guess that's Yogi Bear, right? Yogi the Bear.
Dimitri. Iran bombed BB's train of thought. No, it's not true, Coddington. I can't remember what I was going to say. Drunk is retarded, but
Coggington Bear.
Rush is super hard sometimes. Yeah. I mean, he's retard maxing hard, like really hard. But, you know, it's really hard to find it. Like, the things that I know are true all the time apply no matter what. It's all BS. Well, there is always something true about it. It's not just all BS. Like, to say everything is fake.
Okay, but what about the guy who said that you kind of like sexually harassed the other comedian, the male comedian who said that you sexually harassed him? Is that all BS, or is there some truth in that? I mean, I can't help but like pinpoint this back on him. His rationale should be questioned and tested on himself, on Owen.
Is in my opinion, it's a bit of a trap. It leads to nihilism. But, you know, it does appear like the Golden Gate Bridge is on the table, because I was tweeting that, you know, Kushner at this point is probably telling Trump to leave a little genie lamp and some carpets that say property of Iran, and then blow up the Golden Gate Bridge. Wag the dog. Yeah, well, that's all what wizardry is. And that's why check out this book cover.
Okay, so now here's somebody who has been, you know, his demographic is the Christian demographic, basically. Conservative Christian. But now he's going to sell a book about that involves it has wizardry in the title. All right. So here we go with this. Here we go.
This could be out by this Friday, which would be epic.
Friday the 13th. Did it come out? I wonder.
How to Slay a Wizard, Owen Benjamin.
How to Slay a Wizard, Owen Benjamin. He's going to tell you how to slay a wizard. And, you know, he's got the microphone here and the sword. Well, he's kind of right about that. Let's give that a round of applause. What do you think I'm doing, Owen? Continue. Okay, here we go.
And Wobbly's done several more passes since this. I just love that so much. Budbear came up with the idea of like a sword and a stone, but a wizard hat thing. And then
how like King Arthur. So King Arthur and almost Templar like. Wow. We're going to get to the Templars here in a second.
Wobbly just made it beautiful. And then slay and wizard, because if it's just slay, it sounds gay. But I was it especially can't sound gay after, you know, you have allegations of another comic saying that you basically hit on him or sexually harassed him while he opened up for you on stage, right? You're the headliner, maybe he was the feature act. Is that it? Owen? Why you play like you're anti-gay? Like, what's going on here? What kind of wizard sword are you playing there? Owen? I was very insistent on the colors, and I'll show you why. 1 second. I am going to show you a scene, and I know I have it. I can just upload it. And an insane synchronicity too. Insane today. It was so funny about the Goldbacks. Where can I find this? Talk amongst yourselves there, but you know what? How about while I'm looking real quick, you can check out the.
Okay, so he's
overpopulated. Oh, you should just shout.
Right, and then
they're very scary, but there's. I just personally, I don't know. I am a height supremacist out.
Here we go. Now he talks about The Great Gatsby, and and he is going to weave this back into his book and talk about how the green light equates to money, and he like his wife to him was like Daisy, and he gives her daisies. All right, so I'm going to skip this part where he basically shows a clip from The Great Gatsby. Okay, and then he's going to go into the green light.
That green light is also the Emerald City. It's the green light of Oz. It's the same color as money. It's the same color as the Green Lantern. And I think there's something, and the green screen. So I think that specific shade of green light has something deceptive about it. Not that a light can be deceptive, but you know what I'm saying. And so that's why I really wanted that green. And then Daisy's doc, my wife's social media handle since before I met her was Daisy Love. She loves daisies. That's why
that's it. Okay.
I planted her a bunch of daisies. And so I sent Wobbly all the different shades of Daisy because the Daisy's doc, Gatsby wanted more. He wanted the illusion. He wanted the wizard spell.
Okay, the story, you guys know the story of The Great Gatsby, where he was in love with Daisy at one point. And he didn't have money, and so he left, and he came back with all this money and had this big extravagant party. And Daisy was already betrothed to somebody else, and they're rekindled, but he never really gets Daisy in the end. He no matter what, even with his money, he doesn't really measure up, and it's kind of a tragic story. And I don't know, somehow he's weaving this into his book that apparently was dropped today on Friday the 13th, showing a little bit of wizardry, aren't you, Owen? All right, let's continue on.
And so I wanted those to be the colors, and so we're still working on that, but I find it all to be quite exciting. Okay. And I'm not afraid.
I don't know. Is that witchcraft? I mean, what's going on here? Like, I'm tired of people who manipulate the Christian demographic, like let's say David Schroeder, and he's got all these other shamanic abilities and this and that, and can still use his Michael Aquino training, even though he's supposed to be with Jesus Christ now working for heaven. Like none of it meshes. Doesn't anybody notice the inconsistency here? Well, I do, because people are manipulated by religion. They're manipulated, and let's face it, magical beliefs or beliefs in the occult can be somewhat of a religion for some people.
I keep avoiding the ceiling. It's not a nice flat easy one. It's going to take me a while to finish painting the ceilings, all the trim walls. Oh, well, I've been, so I'll get back to the piano lessons probably the end of next week. My hands are pretty jacked, Jay.
Okay.
But just letting you guys know. And then courses.o is coming along. Flow state is not good for budgeting. So I'm really, really fun. And it's a great time to learn a new skill.
Even Bertaria stuff still going on.
All right. What was I? Oh, yeah. But check this out. So this is the cabin at Ursa Rios coming along. Flow state is not good for budgeting. So I'm riding the lightning on this thing, but I want to see it through. So I got pine tongue and groove for the ceilings and walls, and I want to do wood I milled for that strip right there. Shout out to Electric Bear for the recessed lighting, and shout out to Kai. Yeah, because it's like, I pay people well when someone's doing a job. It's not like people just. I'm not actually a cult leader. People can chip in and do labor.
Are you sure about that?
And help and all that. If we're having like a get together, or people are like, "Yeah, are you going to be at Ursa Rio? I'll come help." Great, but I pay I pay people's rates, the higher level of their rates typically, because it's all about, when it's commercial, it's all about consistency. Like it's better for me anyway when people, I know that there's like a consistent workflow, but that's why I'm so fortunate to have the app and all that stuff, because that's where all that cash goes. But in the end of the day, it's going to be an absolutely epic property. I brought Karma Warlock Bear up there and his wife and his new daughter.
So he's talking about building and bears and Beartaria, and the whole thing is continuing. It's not stopped, guys.
And I gave her his daughter some silver in a jar as a present for being born, and we're shaking it for her, and she started smiling at the sound, because there really is something called sound money. Anyway, so I took them up like the hill that if you've been to Ursa Rio, you couldn't access it before.
I don't know what that was right there. So she's hearing the sound of money. This is good for the baby. When you really look at most religions, especially the Christian religion, we're not supposed to make money our God. Money is, even being a Buddhist, you let go of your material wealth. It doesn't matter. You can't take it with you. Being rich in the world, the real world does not bring holiness or being accepted into heaven or afterlife or anything like this. It means that you're still holding on and value the physical, and the physical it doesn't stay. It's not permanent. You have to set your sights on God and and into the higher consciousness than what is happening here. Don't you know that, Owen? You don't know that, right? Or do you know that?
It's all heavy wilderness.
Oh, but wait, I guess I'm not supposed to know that, because you said that women are not connected to the logos, and so the man has to be connected to the logos to tell me what to do, right? That is what you said in one of your videos. Matter of fact, maybe I might just play that tonight again, because at first I didn't really understand it, and I kind of Googled it, and I knew it wasn't about brown logos, and it was more than that. No, it was the heavens. But I'm really sick of these guys just telling us, girls, women, or whatever, how they're more connected to God over us, and yet they're blowing each other up with guns, right? Okay.
And they're like, man, this is one of the better properties up here. Like, this is absolutely beautiful. And so the continuous, consistent work is paying off. And I really want to have some epic get-togethers there this year. We have an event or two already planned, and it's one reason why I'm busting my balls so hard right now.
Here you're talking about your balls again.
Because by the time April, May comes in, I want it to be just epic. And I'm collecting the stones and burning the twigs and the sticks and making paths. And so I'm going to make a bunch of paths with wood chips, so it's not just all gravel. I know that, who was it? Was it Kiyosaki Bear? Was talking about that. That's really good for jogging. It's really good for running on the wood chips. All right. I'll be at the May event. That sounds great, Coddington. That sounds really good. Good for me.
Coddington Bear, how cute. Okay. So I'm gonna stop there, because I'm just kind of showing you what's happening there. And let me go to my last video again, because there's some more stuff that I think it's really important to look at, especially in regards to the sexual assault content. Sorry. I am should have kept that page open, but I did not. Here it is. And I'm going to scroll it back to where I want it to be. Yeah, I want it to be about right here. Yeah. Okay. Let's play. I can't show this part. I can't show you this part enough. I mean, and here's the deal. Okay. Hold on. Here we go.
Vegas odds are 6-1. But that isn't when the fight is over.
Yeah, I understand why women like it. I get it. There's been because women gravitate towards power. They don't have the same level of logos as men. Women just go,
what? There we go. All right. So he said that. And here. Thinking research indicates that the prevalence of male figures and brand logos often outnumbers females. Okay, so I go into like that discussion, and then let's go to here.
The man who rails against degeneracy fills his own broadcast with obscenity, crude jokes, and self-contradiction. This isn't moral conviction, it's marketing. Raised by a pair of academic free spirits, Owen learned early how to perform sincerity, how to package rebellion as revelation. Now he wraps that same performance in scripture and sells it back to his audience as virtue. That's the essence of the grift, not belief, but branding. A man preaching purity while cashing in on outrage. And after all the donations, the land, and the live streams, the mask is starting to crack. And this is where Owen's rhetoric takes an even darker turn. For years, he's spoken publicly about the age of consent, not with moral clarity, but with moral confusion. In past live streams, he's claimed that it's somehow more moral for an adult man to marry an 8-year-old than for two consenting adults to have casual sex.
Does the Bible say 18 shall be the age of consent? No, not even close. Marriage, guys, marriage is the age of consent. Marriage. Marrying a 12-year-old in an agrarian society is infinitely more moral than fucking a random 18-year-old and never talking to her again.
He's even said that children who were victims of consented on some level, even though they had no capacity to consent.
Okay, let me just stop it there for a second. To me, that is just absolute. What he just said is just absolutely shocking. And what I'm thinking about, when I first watched that, what he just said right now, I thought, hi, AP Grifter Dog. I'm going to come back to you in just a second, but DHS, is that Department of Homeland Security? Is that the acronym for that? And Liz is supporting him now. Liz Moldovan is supporting him now, and so is Blazin. And Blazin wants to go out there and act like she is just, right in there with the predator catcher community. But have you not watched this? Blazin? Denise? Hoax? Well, Hoax is turned off on this. I won't bash him on this situation. And you guys are harassing and being racist to Adam Camacho for this guy? Because he's saying everything that you say that you try to save children and protect children about. You're hypocrites. Who are you? And why are you doing what you're doing right now? Inquiring minds want to know.
I'd say the majority of abused kids consented on some level. Like they were trusting. It's not like they were beaten.
I mean, this is the whole thing that, that when a woman gets AR'd, right? Oh, she consented on some level. Like, how twisted is it to sit there and gaslight a child's trauma of being molested, or a woman who's been molested and the trauma that she's dealing with to get over it. And maybe, okay, so I can't personally get that part out of my head. Like, I can't get that part where he says on some level they consented. I just can't. And when you come back to this, the guy who talks about how Owen sexually assaulted him, one more time for the beginning of that. I'm just going to make my point here. I'm sorry, Owen. Let me ask you something. I know you're probably not watching, but whatever. But Owen needs to be asked, does he think this guy somehow consented to the things that he came up and said and did to him at the comedy club? Let's play it.
Assault Brendan Craig. He's like, what? Someone banned that guy.
I mean,
but you know, if somehow this gets back to you, you fucking did, Owen Benjamin, you piece of shit loser. Now I can talk about this without getting all heated, because like this week has actually been very nice. Made me feel a lot better about it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like 3 years ago in Philadelphia, Owen Benjamin, he was at Helium Comedy Club, and sometimes when a headliner's there after their show, they'll come to one of the littler venues to like drop in and do a set. And that night I was at Good Comedy Theater, and I was hosting a show, and blacked out Owen Benjamin shows up. He's very rude. I bring him up. He does his set. I come out to close the show, but he picked me up in his, like, he picked me up, pulled me close to his face with his tongue out.
Oh, here we go.
And was like trying to make out with me. And like, not in a way where it was like clearly a bit, in a way where it's like, I'm trying to do this and I bet I can play it off as a bit.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about him screams that, dude.
Yeah. It made me very upset at the time. And really until this week, it really, really upset me every time I thought about it. So he's trying to make out with me, and I like freeze and like try to like recoil away. And then he like drops me and like looks really mad. Like I'm not yes-anding the bit.
What the fuck, dude?
And so then I close the show. It's really fucking awkward. And I'm just like pissed off. And yeah, I just fucking pissed off, made me feel terrible.
Yeah.
And just like furious, where it was like it was sexual assault. Obviously that's a super extreme example.
Right.
But like when you're an open micer, like trying to come up, headliners treat you like you're less than human.
Oh, he was an open micer. Wow. Okay.
Especially unfunny headliners,
right?
Because they know that they're not that much better than you.
Dude, it was kind of an.
I don't know about that. I mean, that's kind of it's a little bit of egotistical talk from a comedian, but whatever. Usually, if the general thing is most headliners are actually good. You know, there's a reason why they're closing the show. Now, if you're closing an open mic night show, you may not be like headliner, but you know, Owen Benjamin was pretty much that for a long time. So I don't think Owen should be like really judged that he's not a good comic, really. But that's not appropriate behavior, and certainly the open micer is seen as a subordinate to the headliner. And so anyway, well, okay, so AP Grifter Watchdog is saying in 2018 I did a background check on Owen, and he had worked with DHS, Department of Homeland Security, in the early 2000s. I think it was nepotism, rhetoric, farming related because of his dad, and they placed Owen in Hollywood. I would not be surprised. His goal is to subvert and push extremes, and he does. That is what he's doing right now. Okay, like if you were going to be conspiratorial about it, you're like, okay, is he MK Ultra? You know, does he? What happened to him? Does he have a handler? is something like that going on, or has he been in touch with all these different kinds of things and he's just kind of flipped in that direction? He has a cult-like personality. But if you look historically, I think I'm going to do some research or go do some shows into cults and things like this, because I actually have an interest in it. But if you look at, like, let's say Charles Manson, or, you look at Captain Mark Richards, who, is in prison now for influencing people to do cult Manson-like murders in Marin County, which is a part of this particular, media. But I think that Owen has a lot of behavior of somebody who is acting like a cult leader. And he obviously has some sort of issue with sexuality, or his sexuality, or trying to control women's sexuality. And I, the footage that I've shown over the last few days, for me has really kind of shown me this. These are the things that I see, or these things that I want to point out when I'm looking at different people's research and work and things that he uploads and whatever content is out there online. So there is, I would like to show a little bit of what my most recent video on him is about. And I want to show his soccer mom, how he, manipulates women on in his material, and how he acts, and it's part of his strategy for his own podcast and control that he has over things. And I'm gonna and again, we're gonna get to the I think the title of it is take it back just a little bit here. Wait. And okay, yeah. So I'm going to just show a little bit more here. From people on my last video, because I had a moment of compassion for Owen Benjamin.
I know how it works. And if people want.
And so, I expressed that, and I said something like, I wish I could give him a hug. And then I discovered this video where one of Owen's biggest demographics, according to him, that he can manipulate are women, and women who are like soccer moms. And I thought that this was really interesting, and I'd like to share it. So let's take a look at it. Oh, by the way, everybody probably knows who Owen Benjamin is, but he's a stand-up comedian, fairly successful, controversial. Created a kind of like a community called Beartaria, and they bought some property and built some stuff, and there's been a bunch of weird YouTube drama between different groups of people that kind of troll on the internet. So anyway, all right, so let's go.
And that becomes a clip that people can spread and people can show. Look at the hypocrisy. I know how it works. And if people want to know, I will teach them. I will teach them wizardry. I'll teach them how to defeat wizardry. And you can look at my life. I bat 1,000. Always think soccer moms. What's going to make a soccer mom laugh?
She's giving you an over the pants hand job in a over the pants hand job. Over the pants hand job. OTPation. You were discreet. The clerk didn't know what you were up to.
Because soccer moms is the heart of America. What's going to make a soccer mom angry?
By the way, I want to give a shout out to AI Grift Patrol. This is their channel. This is footage from their channel, and the title is Wizardry 101: A Guide to Manipulating Soccer Moms. And I'll make sure that I put it here in the chat here in a second and have it in the description of this video afterwards.
They can spend all the money they want. I mean, one of those guys, I'm pretty sure, tried to poison my son. So,
what's going to make a soccer mom angry?
Nightwave Radio and Mersh, the guy that I apologized to for nothing, really just being smug, has doxed my address and sent it out to all his followers to have people come hurt me and my family.
It's going to make a soccer mom feel something.
I never had that. Never had that. I'm so glad that we can bring that back. You know, where it's like, thank you, Lord, for our food, amen. He's 2. He's fucking 2 years old.
You're playing to the women. The white soccer moms are going towards the right.
I like Trump. I think he's funny, and I think he genuinely doesn't like war.
Dude, this is what I do. This is what I do. I am an expert on this. This is what you do. You give them.
I bet he is an expert on it. I fell for it.
An exact situation.
I mean, I'm not a soccer mom. I've never been a soccer mom, but I guess if I were a soccer mom, I would maybe fall for this.
I just got kicked off PayPal. Any bank or credit card information linked to your PayPal account cannot be removed, nor can it be used to create a new account. You can still log in to see your account information, but you can't send or receive money. Any money in your balance will be held for 180 days, which after will send you an email. Yeah, I just got kicked off PayPal.
You give them an exact situation.
Hey guys, I've been getting tons of emails and comments that your memberships on YouTube have been paused. Yeah, I'm completely demonetized now. And
wow, he's a grifter. He's a grifter, huh? He's a grifter. You know, you see the commonality. You see the themes that we point out here on Not My Rabbit Hole.
I'm not bummed. It was expected. I told you guys it was going to happen.
Strap on your helmet. This is real.
White women are now anti the trans movement because their daughters, soccer moms, are playing men in sports. The University of Connecticut student
wow. Okay.
axed an appearance by the comedian Owen Benjamin, who had made comments about transgender children and hormone replacement. Yeah, it also cost me my my agent, my manager, my ability to tour in comedy clubs. I haven't been
back. But it didn't stop you from getting donations to buy product. That sounds like a country western song. I had that thing that, you know, there's always that joke like, what happens in a country western song? You lose your home, your house, your job. I lost my agent. Property, right? I got kicked off of Amazon.
I did a few more clubs, but they were booked before that happened. I haven't been allowed back. And if I post where I'm performing on my website,
and this is like during the time that I believe, like after this, that's when I got on Blaze TV and I was talking about how he was canceled for his right-wing views. But yeah.
Forms call, and I had 7 cancellations in one tour once. So that's why I keep it. I email you the location and you just buy the.
Hey man, it happened to the Dixie Chicks. All right. Don't be a puss, Owen.
Like, think about the narratives that people have tried to do against me and how I've handled that.
As he said, he also did a circle jerk.
Jesus Christ.
Jerked off with a guy.
Hell, it's happened to her. It's happened to Roseanne. All right.
Piece of shit. This is what I'm very good at. Talk about what people care about.
Why don't you sell some, powdered milk or something, some protein man powder, build your muscles like Alex Jones. That might work.
Files.
Oh, interesting. Or, sell some property and, have people be permanent lifetime members for $400 a month. And, that might work too. Yeah. It all works, doesn't it, Owen? Right?
And rapists.
Oh,
Armenians,
okay.
And Jews are roughly similar populations in the United States. Another pedophile arrested, Peter Bedrosian. Blacks and Mexicans see Jews as whites. What I'm saying is what I'm saying. I don't speak in double talk.
Wait, is this supposed to be like material that soccer moms like? Because I think you might be off your mark there, Owen.
She's small-hatted. Men in small hats. Men small hat. Man small hat. Small hat, small hat, or small hat. Men in small hats. They're men in small hats. Small hat. Man small hat. Small hat. Man small hat. Man small hat. Small hat. Small hat. Talk about what people care about. Small hat. Small hat.
Okay, so, and that's racist. And because later on in the show, I Google it and I find out, like, I Google men with small hats and I realize that he's referring to a yarmulke. So, here, I don't know if you saw my recent short today, but one of the things that we talk about here on Not My Rabbit Hole is racism and extremism on YouTube and social media. And Owen Benjamin is like he's the epitome of that. And Angela, I appreciate your comments here too as well. You're mentioning your friend always covered Owen right after the Vegas community phased out. And that Vegas community thing, the Vegas stuff kind of, all these communities kind of spill into each other, kind of, don't they? How we find people like Owen, because what happened in Vegas, the people who are following that might fall into some of the same sentiments that Owen was representing, because even I was looking into into sharing food and crops and homesteading and learning to live off grid if something happened. I don't even think that that's a bad idea to do, is to have some sort of preparation of what were to happen if a certain disaster happened. Like, what if the Golden Gate Bridge gets bombed? Or, what if we have a big earthquake in California and we lose 70% of our water because it, devastates the San Andreas Fault? These things could actually really happen. And so if you're thinking about, like, how would I live by providing for my family the way it used to be, really homesteading and the things like that. I don't disagree with that, but obviously I think when it comes to Owen Benjamin and his personality type, I don't think that's all it is. And when people are building new communities and new societies, from what I could tell from the footage, this is my assessment on the Bertaria footage. They were just adopting old systems of controlling society, which had to do with patriarchism. They were patriarchal in nature still, or the feudal system. Like, people coming, you can come here and work on the earth and work for your keep, but you're not going to make any money from it. There were just a lot of things that, if you looked at the personalities, like, if you're wanting to build a utopia, if you're wanting to build, like, and what is utopia? Like, utopia is just somebody's vision of what utopia is. It's a collected group of people saying, this is what my ideal of living like heaven would be. This is my ideal utopia. But how many dystopian films do you see of that going awry? And, sometimes you're looking at, I'm looking at Bertaria going, okay, so when does it become Lord of the Flies? Like, when is, like, what is the human nature? What is our collective as a group that we're going to come up with something different that's going to be better and less destructive than we have right now? Those are the questions I have about, building communities or even working within the structure of current communities. How do you make that better to serve the people better than it does, than it is currently? So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but so I wanted to get back to a little bit more on Friday the 13th and kind of cover the let me go back here. The Knights Templars aspect of it, because this is what when I think of Friday the 13th, the things I learn in conspiracy world, it has to do with the Knights Templars myth, right? Well, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but let's do a little more music a little more music in the background while I'm talking about this. I think we were doing, did lo-fi before? Lo-fi, I think that works. Okay. All right. So the Knights Templar arrest of 1307 and Friday the 13th origin of myth. This is the executive summary from ChatGPT. The mass arrests of the Knights Templar in France on Friday, October 13th, 1307 are well-attested historical event driven by royal and papal royal politics, finances, and allegations of heresy. Not by and not demonstrably connected to an existing Friday the 13th is an unlucky superstition. The claim that the 1307 arrest caused the Friday the 13th superstition is best treated as a modern explanatory story, a just so origin popularized in late 20th, early 21st century mass culture and explicitly flagged as unconvincing by folklorists and historians. The evidentiary problem is chronological. The earliest clear printed references tying Friday plus 13 to bad luck appear centuries later, most notably in French print culture by 1834, making direct causal origin from 1307 historically implausible absent new evidence. The primary chronological event is in early October 1307, the French crown under Philip IV moved against the Templars. A coordinated sweep occurred at dawn on October 13, 1307, when Templars across the kingdom were arrested. The arrests quickly expanded beyond royal police action into a pan-European ecclesiastical matter. Although the Pope initially reacted negatively to the unilateral French move, a papal directive soon followed. The bull Pastoralis Praemente, dated November 22nd, 1307, ordered Christian rulers to arrest Templars and seize their property in the name of the church. A multi-year process of investigation, trials, and political bargaining culminated in formal suppression. On March 22nd, 1312, the Vox in Excelso was issued by Pope Clement V, abolished the order. Modern scholarly discussion emphasizes that the bull itself had a complex manuscript tradition of dissemination history. One reason historians treat later popular retellings cautiously. A key figure in popular memory, Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master, was among those arrested and later executed. The execution is widely dated to 1314, though precise legal documentation is scattered across trial records and later chronicles. And Jacques de Molay has been, was said to have influenced the Masons, or there's this that they have the Demolays in the Masons along with the Joe Daughters. So some people deny that there's a correlation, but they're talking about knights and things like this. So I don't know. You can make what you will of that. I've heard people denying it, but it sounds like, why do they call it Demolays, right? I mean, that's my question. Primary documents and access to authoritative text. The section distinguishes what the documents are and what can be assessed in openly available authoritative editions using the current research corpus. Royal orders and arrest machinery. The arrests were executed as a coordinated state action under Philip V's authority implemented by the royal officials through sealed instructions, a feature repeatedly noted in overviews of the trials of modern institutional explainers. Access gap. In this research pass, I did not retrieve an openly accessible critical editor's translation style, this is AI talking, of Philip V's specific arrest circulars or sealed writs, and the way one might for better editor medieval state papers. I therefore treat the sealed orders claim as well supported in secondary scholarly synthesis, but do not present it as a quoted primary text finding here. So anyway, it goes on, it just kind of goes over more of that. Let's go through the timeline here. So October 13th, 1307, mass arrest of Templars in France ordered by Philip V was historical Friday the 13th coincidence, often misused as origin. So I don't want to go through the whole timetable, but these are the unnoted bibliography of prioritized sources. Library of Congress on the possible origins of Friday the 13th, Meta Folklore, Fear and Fun, Folk Life Today, best single scholarly public explainer connecting and separating the Templar story from the superstition, the explicit historiographical reasoning and early French point evidence. National Geographic, busting the myth of Friday the 13th and the Knights Templar, clear popular audience debunking that explicitly traces how the myth spread, including the Brown Channel. And then it goes on. Encyclopedia Britannica, Cambridge Core, Primary French Print Witness, Archive.org, OCR full text of Revue de Paris, volume containing La Chateau de Carini, the crucial 1834 line tying Friday the 13th to Malheur, supporting the late emergence argument. Okay, so it is still Friday the 13th, 2026. The show is themed about Friday the 13th, but it's also about Owen Benjamin, and I don't know, how's Owen Benjamin's Friday the 13th going? Angela says, I never cared about the Owen thing. I went down different rabbit holes, but saw the bears all over. Yeah, I didn't pay attention too, but lately I have, because of the connection to other, what I would call mid-level trolls on the internet, being connected to this hoax stuff. And I kept wondering, like, why is everybody talking about Owen Benjamin all the time? Knowing that he was a comedian and stuff like that, I got curious. And right now I'm finding him really super fascinating and also frightening in some ways. And very misogynist and kind of a danger. It's almost like he is a human virus on human consciousness. I can't believe I just said that, but I disagree with a lot of the things that he says, and I think a lot of his beliefs are destructive and are coming from a place of him not dealing with his own shit that he has in his life. Because if you looked at some of the stuff that I look into Owen, I mean, psychologically he's fascinating to study, really. Because he thinks that he has to keep saying that he has special, just like everybody else, just like David Schroeder, just like David Wilcock, or anybody else who is kind of in this sort of paradigm, whether it's like on a political side or whether it's going to go into woo and extraterrestrials. There's this, everybody's special. They have specials. Their pineal gland is open They see things. They have psychic abilities, just like Sarah Rachel Adams. Just like David Schroeder. And they use a certain type of spirituality or religion to manipulate people. And I definitely think that those kind of elements are interesting to point out, and I think it's important to point out because some cult leaders and some people who have influenced people to do very destructive things, including taking their own life. And I think that there are a lot of things that I disagree with that Owen Benjamin says, and I think that they are socially hateful and definitely destructive. And so I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and being here. Check out the Fenty products that are on sale, and they will be the sale that's going to be happening from the 19th to the 23rd for Fenty lip gloss, things like that. I know it's girly stuff. I should get something for you guys out there too. I shouldn't be told, but it is Women's History Month, and because of that, I will be discussing more about Owen Benjamin. I also want to point out that Not My Rabbit Hole is on Spotify, and I just uploaded Analyzing Owen Benjamin for Women's History Month just because I can, part 1. And so I'm going to copy that link and give it to you here in the chat. I am on Spotify. Please do support me on that channel and give me a good rating. I'm on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. A lot of my stuff goes up over there because I'm gonna rock that algorithm. And on that note, I shall say goodbye to you guys. I'll see you next time. Whoops. I meant to do my music there and I didn't get it. Here we go. We got it now. I'm out. Out. Oh, that's not it either. Oh my God. Now I'm really gone. On the stripper pole, laughing loud all for the love, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. He ain't no Saint Germain, no crown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Caught in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Caught in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Caught in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.